I'll start with it. What brought the book together was Naguib had been writing his second book and needed a chapter filler. And I suggested a number of people that I knew in the sport. And then Naguib realized I could hand him 50 or 100 people quite easy. And then one thing led to another, and here we go. 53 chapters and 170 pages later, here we are.
And actually, Lena, you should be ticked off at him because that bumped the book that you're in back 4 months. The biggest challenge, in my opinion, was, in all fairness, Greg has known these people for 25 years and knows who they are. I didn't know who they were. Actually, it's a combination of a challenge and a blessing. So I basically treated everybody equally, which is something I always do anyway. And by treating everybody equally, I did lose a little bit of the awe of the person at first, because he'd say, we're meeting so-and-so. Okay, we're meeting so-and-so. But only after I got to meet them did I discover, you know, this person's been in judo for 50 years, been involved in the Olympics, and has taught hundreds of people. And it dawned on me over the long time that, like, these people's stories are really incredible. And it's made for a very special output, that book.
Yeah. One of the blessings, as Naguib would say, to me, I'm humbled by how fast everybody got on board. We really didn't have to chase people. The ones that I got in touch with were all for it. It's never really been done before. It's all about Ontario athletes, Olympians, Paralympians, referees, the whole genre of all ages. I used to say, let's honor them while they're here. And the people that I asked all knew that about me. And there's a trust that I have in them and they have in me, that they knew that they would be treated right and done right, and you can't beat that. So everybody jumped on board. What I did is I took a number of the families, as in Mitch Kawasaki, who's 75 or 76, Charlie Formosa and his group of Olympians, the Takahashi family, June Takahashi, I think was 93, 94, Bill Doherty, who turned 94 this past Saturday, the Torah Club that I've been involved with for years. I picked groups of them, and then I picked any Olympians from that club, and so on and so forth, lined up the schedule so that Naguib and I could go do the interviews.
Well, that I could go all that long without either of us killing each other.
As for going through the process with the people that we interviewed, that was easy for me. The biggest thing about doing the book part with Naguib was keeping my eyes and ears open and listening. Based on somebody who's done what he's done, and we've known each other a long enough time that we're able to back and forth it quite easy and make it work. But you gotta keep your eyes and ears open and listen. Because tomorrow they may not be here. And it's time, especially here in Ontario, that we highlight the accomplishments of so many generations of families in the sport of judo in Ontario.
I'll give you an example. June Takahashi was 93?
93, 94.
Yeah, and we really wanted to include her story in the book, but she wasn't mobile, her son had to bring her from their home in a wheelchair. They get to the club, to the dojo, and two people literally carried her and in her wheelchair up the stairs to get into the club. We took some pictures, did some video, and asked some questions. She wasn't able to answer them directly because of her hearing, and I've got a low monotone voice that just didn't carry, so her son answered her questions. But we took a picture in front of the dojo sign, and to do that picture justice, they actually dressed her in her gi, and as it turned out, it was the last picture of her in a gi, last time she put the gi on, and her last picture in a gi. She passed away maybe 2 months after we did the interview. So it's a pretty special and very touching moment, knowing that she was willing to go through that, and her family and her dojo were willing to do all of that to get her story in the book.
Yeah, we were going to do whatever it took to help make it easier to interview June for the book. The fact that she looked it down and said, I want to be there, tells you everything you need to know. She's trying to leave not just her legacy, but her and her husband Masau's accomplishments for future generations. Unfortunately, she has, but we're the fortunate ones. I've never been in the Ottawa Takahashi dojo in all the years I've been around the sport.
I told you, stick around with me and you'll get places.
Well, I think the biggest thing is everybody in the book has been seen by the judo community, but they don't really know the background stories of a guy like Rainer Fisher, for example, or Wayne Erdman, when they were in Japan training in the 70s. Or John Hatashida, brother of Frank and father of Roman, he turned 95 2 weeks ago. He's in an old age home, and he had a really good day, and he chatted for what, 20 minutes? A good 20 minutes. Well, I think the biggest thing you can look at it, in Canada, there's about 25,000 people who do it competitively. There's another 100,000 that do it recreationally. In Europe, it's mandatory. You've got to do it in Europe in schools. Kids who walk with an air of confidence don't get bullied. If you start them early, even if they leave the sport, what they have learned about discipline and everything else stays with them the rest of their life.
I don't know that I ever felt like wanting to give up. I got overwhelmed at times with the sheer amount of work involved in this, because it basically shanghaied life for the 6-month period we were working on it. It felt like a magic carpet ride. The people I met were incredible. The one day that we went to Kitchener and did the interview, we ultimately interviewed 7 people that day. And at the end of each of those interviews, I wanted to give them a hug. Everyone had an incredible story. Everyone had a reason that they got into judo. Sometimes it was forced on them because their family was in it or whatever. But in one case, she was on the judo mat a week or so after she was born. Her mother needed to be at a competition. She put her in the carrier and she put her on the mat. So that family, the McDowells, between the mother, the father, and Brianna, the daughter, had 138 years of combined judo presence. So wow. That's incredible. And that's over and over. It's the same story over and over and over again. And the reality is, these people felt they were better people because they were in judo. They were able to live a richer life all around because of what they learned in judo. It's not just about a competition. It's about, I think, the Daruma doll theory of fall down 7 times, get up 8, or the modern version of that, fall down 6 times and get up 7, is really more about life. It's more about living a quality and rich life, and acknowledging that you could learn every bit as much from defeat as you can from a victory, probably more from a defeat. So the whole essence, and I love to use that because it's in the title, the whole essence of the book is that it is a way of life, as Greg keeps badgering me and telling me to drum it into me. It is a way of life, and it enriches those people and those around them.
The kicking and punching, all the other martial arts, kick and punch. All of them.
There's no such thing as a judo chop.
There's no such thing as a judo chop. It's a karate chop. I can tell you that as the VP of marketing around the sport, our registrations in the last year and a half were up big. We're up with a lot of the young kids whose parents see the way of the world today, and we're up an awful lot of girls. And it's just growing. Like the club I belong to, Mississauga Judo Club, close to my home there in Clarkson, we have about 200 plus people in the club over the 3 classes. Now I started to look at it, and I think we've gained about 35 or 40 this year, which tells you everything you need to know. A lot of parents walk in, want to look at it, see if it will do well with their kids. Their kids see another kid on the mat, they go out there and talk before the class starts, and they're hooked. A lot of parents I know have brought in their friends' kids to take a look at it. That's when you know you're doing well.
And that's actually the story for a lot of the people in the book. A number of them said they didn't even know anything about judo, and they walked past a gym door that was open and they saw something that intrigued them. Or, you know, it's fascinating. You're going to get to read your own copy of the book after I gift it to you this afternoon when we meet, and you'll know how rich it is. I think we've taken enough of her time.
Yep, I will finish with this. I've told him many times how blessed I am to have been able to have him with me on this magic carpet ride. I couldn't have done it without him, but we work so well together that I think that made this stressful sometimes, but a heck of a lot easier to do.
And I'm the one that got stressed.
History. It's the history of 53 people of various, where they came into the sport and how they've moved along in their life. But yet they're still there. I'll use an example. Herman Vermeyen is 93. He's still on the mat 6 days a week. He's at a different club every night of the week. Now, and he's teaching the kids. That's special. And yes, he is in the book.
He's on the back cover.
Actually, he's right here.
Amazing. I'm looking forward to reading it.
Yeah, we hope that people buy a lot of books, but at the same time, it's going to bring one thing. People are going to talk. Who was better? Who was this? But the point is, they're going to talk. And that just breeds more stuff when it comes time.
Well, congratulations on the book, and I'm looking forward to reading it.
Yep.
And yeah, thank you so much, Greg. Thank you so much, Naguib.
Yep.
Thank you, Lena. See
Thank
you
you,
later.
Lena.
Thank you.